On this bumpy 50-point inspection from Kettlehead Brewing Company out of Tilton, New Hampshire, I have their 3KD, which is a triple IPA coming in at 11% ABV. This is also triple dry hopped with Huell Mellon, which gives off notes of vivid impressions of summer, melon, and ripe strawberry. Mandarin Bavaria, intense tangerine and orange candy with herbal follow-up. Galaxy, musky tropical fruit like apricot and key lime with black currant. Idaho 7, tropical fruit and citrus, notes of resiny pine and black tea. And then they use an experimental hop, which they don't even give the number for. So I don't know what hop that is. It's experimental though. Let's go ahead and crack this one open and start this inspection. All right, so the head on this is very tight bubbled, white. I would say it's a creamy white. It is frothy on top, and the color of the beer itself is a very deep orange gold. Kind of looks a bit like apple cider for the most part. Extremely hazy as well. Let's get some aromas. Yeah, it's tropical fruit. There's the apricot in there. I pick up on a little bit of what smells kind of like a lemon, but it could be lime. Slight berry notes. A little bit citrusy. Some pine in there as well. Okay, well, that's quite a bit of different aromas to pull from this one. It smells pretty good. Slight bit of candy. Trying to find some malt. Maybe a slight breadiness from the malt, but the malt's pretty well hidden underneath all of those hop notes. So anyways, let's go ahead and get into this one first swig, so cheers. It's got kind of like an orange sherbet type thing going right up front. Woo! Gets even sweeter afterwards. There's like, it's like almost goes into like a cotton candy type flavor. Lots of fruit type notes. It's definitely like a berry note in there, for sure. I wouldn't quite pinpoint strawberry, but yeah, I guess strawberry. It's kind of coming through a little bit more like strawberry now. Subtle hint of apricot on the flavor. It was more pronounced in the aromas. This one gets pretty sweet after the first initial sip. It kind of almost goes into like a caramel type sweetness from the malt. There is that kind of breadiness. I'd say a touch of caramel in there too. Yeah, I'm left with a candy sweetness on the palate. This one does go into a bittering effect at the finish there, but it does not linger on for long. As I'm talking, I'm getting a lot of that sweet flavors coming off. It really kind of reminds me of cotton candy, or a caramel apple maybe, or both. Yeah, go back in. There's that strawberry note coming back up again. Candy, caramel. Touch of apricot. The bitterness on this one, I would say like a touch of pine. Then it just goes right back to being that sweetness again. Let me talk about the body. I'd give this one a medium body, medium carbonation. fairly soft palate. Just ever so slightly drying on the palate afterwards. 11% ABV. There's a touch of an alcohol flavor, just very, very light touch of alcohol. So I think it's pretty well hidden for 11%. The sweetness though comes back, man. This is pretty easy to drink for such a large beer. And even though it's got that sweetness, it's like that candy and that caramel type thing going for it. The bitterness, even though it doesn't seem super, super high at all, does balance it out. This is not cloying at all. I'm going to go ahead and give this one a score. All right. The appearance, I am going to give this that 6 out of 6. I know I said before I do like the lighter colors in New England IPAs, which I do. I like that potato look or very vibrant yellow. But this is a bigger one, so you're expecting some other malts to be added into this to kind of give it that extra amount of malt that will be needed for sweetness, and also the higher ABV. So it's nice. 6 out of 6 for that appearance. The aromatics on this, there was a lot of aromas coming out of it. It's not super punchy. It doesn't fly right out of the glass or the can. But I mean, you can pick out a lot of different aromatics from this, mostly from the hops. The malt is a little bit under the line there to really pick out, but it's got a little bit of that kind of caramel type note. So I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10 for the aromas. And the flavors, the malts come through nicely in this one. That breadiness, that kind of caramel type note going on, works very well with the hops. The hops give off lots of decent notes. I like the way that it finishes, where you kind of get that real bit of a spike of bitterness, and it dies right off real quick, and it brings back a lot of that kind of mid-palate delicious hop flavor, and I would say a little bit of the malt flavor also starts to revive again as well. I do have a lingering bitterness on my palate. It's not harsh at all though. A little bit piney, but it is mixed in with that kind of caramel and candy, cotton candy type thing that I was kind of getting. Really like the way that the strawberries were kind of coming through as well. At first it just hit me as a berry type note, but really get down and start thinking about it, yeah, it's strawberry. And I'm going to give the flavors on this a 19 out of 19. Body on it, 5 out of 5. And my overall, I really like this one. For a very large New England IPA, it works very well. I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10 for my overall. I highly recommend it. So, for 3KD, triple IPA from Kettlehead Brewing Company, I'm going to give it a BuMpY 49 out of 50, which makes this an excellent beer. So I want to say cheers. Thank you all for watching.